Okay, so let's dive right in. In 2025, we're looking at ancient Egypt through a brand new, incredibly powerful lens, artificial intelligence. And what we're seeing is, well, it's a mix of absolutely revolutionary breakthroughs and some really deep controversy. AI is unlocking secrets we never thought possible, but at the same time, it's being used to push some pretty out there theories.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Is this amazing new technology a tool for genuine discovery? Or is it becoming a high-tech way to spin a tall tale? Right now, the entire field of Egyptology seems to be splitting, heading down two totally different roads. One leads to solid, peer-reviewed science, and the other, well, it takes us into a world of high-tech myths.
None of this is happening in a bubble. It's all unfolding while Egypt itself is in the middle of this massive, strategic push to become a world leader in AI. And that national ambition is creating some huge ripple effects, changing how the country deals with its own incredible ancient history.
This national strategy is creating something that experts call a pull effect. See, when your government is aiming for AI to make up a whopping 7.7% of the entire economy, and you're training 30,000 new AI experts, it just creates this huge wave of innovation. And suddenly, the heritage sector, we're talking museums, archaeological sites, they're being pulled right into it, encouraged to adopt all this new tech, not just for science, but to get in line with the whole country's vision for the future.
And that brings us right to the Giza Plateau. This is basically ground zero for the clash between real science and wild speculation. It's where we can see those two paths of AI splitting apart in the most dramatic way possible, with two completely different groups looking for secrets buried under the pyramids.
This chart just lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you've got the Khafre Project. They're making these unbelievable claims about finding a gigantic, mythical city buried 600 meters deep, all using some secret proprietary AI. On the other side, you have the well-established Scan Pyramids mission. They use multiple, verifiable technologies to find and confirm real things, like hidden corridors inside the pyramids. One project hides all its data, the other publishes everything so other scientists can check their work.
The Khafre Project's whole method is a perfect example of what's called an AI black box. Basically, they feed satellite data in one end, and a map of a lost city pops out the other. But here's the catch. Because no one is allowed to look inside the box to see how the AI got that result, their claims can't be scientifically tested. You just have to trust them. And, well, that's not how science works. And that is the real danger, isn't it? This quote absolutely nails it. AI can be used to wrap these fringe pseudoarchaeology theories in a shiny, high-tech package, making them seem legitimate while completely sidestepping the basic rules of science: transparency, peer review, and actual verifiable proof. But okay, let's leave that controversy behind and walk down that other path, the one that's leading to jaw-dropping discoveries. Because far away from all the drama, AI is giving scientists these incredible, undeniable breakthroughs. It's helping us decode the most fundamental building blocks of the past, ancient writing, and even ancient human DNA.
So, trying to translate hieroglyphs with AI has been a massive headache for years. Why? Well, in the world of machine learning, Middle Egyptian is what they call a low-resource language. There just isn't enough digitized text out there to properly train a big AI model like the ones we're used to. If you try, the AI often makes mistakes, or worse, just makes stuff up. They call that hallucinating.
But the solution is absolutely brilliant. It's a system called THOTH AI. See, instead of just asking a generic AI to translate something cold, it uses a clever process called RAG. First, it goes and looks up all the relevant info from a specialized database of Egyptian grammar and words. Then, it feeds all that expert knowledge to the powerful AI as context. It's literally like giving the AI a PhD-level textbook on Egyptology right before you give it the test. And the result? A translation that is stunningly accurate.
And the breakthroughs aren't just in language. In 2025, scientists finally hit a milestone they've been chasing for decades. For the first time ever, they sequenced the complete genome of a person who lived during Egypt's Old Kingdom. We're talking about 4,500 years ago. This is just a monumental achievement.
And the results? They were just incredible. The analysis showed that this person's DNA was about 80% ancient North African, which is what you'd probably expect. But that other 20%? Get this, it came from Mesopotamia, the region we now know as Iraq.
So the huge takeaway here is that this is no longer just a theory.
For the very first time, we have cold, hard genetic proof that people were moving between these two great cradles of civilization way back in the age of the pyramids. This completely changes our understanding of the ancient world from just an exchange of pottery and goods to a real story of human families on the move.
What's really cool is that these discoveries aren't just staying in scientific journals. They're actually changing how all of us, the public, get to experience the past. AI and these new immersive technologies aren't just for academics anymore. They are bringing ancient Egypt to life in ways we could have only dreamed of.
Just look at the Horizon of Khufu VR experience. Now, this is not a video game. It's a 45-minute, full-on virtual expedition developed hand-in-hand with the top Egyptologists at Harvard. You can literally walk around the Giza Plateau as it looked 4,500 years ago and even go inside chambers of the Great Pyramid that are totally off-limits to tourists in real life. It is the new gold standard for making history both exciting and accurate.
And this push to modernize how we experience history isn't just about one flashy VR show. It's happening on a huge, practical scale all across Egypt. In fact, in 2025, the country finished this massive project to roll out a brand new electronic ticketing system across 110 different museums and archaeological sites. It doesn't just make life easier for tourists, it creates this enormous new set of data that will help protect and manage these priceless treasures for generations to come.
So all of this leads us to the really big questions about what happens next. As AI gets woven deeper and deeper into the fabric of this field, it's forcing us to grapple with some major ethical and philosophical challenges about, well, the very future of the past.
A huge debate that's raging right now is whether AI is here to augment the human scholar or replace them. The sunny, optimistic view is that AI will take over all the boring, tedious work, sorting pottery shards, transcribing texts, freeing up the human experts to do what they do best, thinking critically and asking the big questions. The fear, though, is that as AI gets smarter and starts doing high-level analysis, it could start to devalue or even make human expertise obsolete.
But there's another really serious risk here: algorithmic bias. A lot of the historical data we use to train these AI models was written during the colonial era, and it's full of the biases and perspectives of that time. If we aren't extremely careful, our new AI could just learn all those old harmful ideas and then spit them back out at us, disguised as objective truth, basically supercharging them for a whole new generation.
And that brings us to our final, really provocative question. While there's a huge risk that AI could amplify these colonial legacies, could it also be the very tool we need to dismantle them? Think about it. By giving Egyptian scholars powerful AI tools to analyze the massive, unstudied collections sitting in their own museums, could this technology finally rebalance the entire field? Could it shift the center of knowledge from the West back to Egypt itself? The answer to that question is going to define the next chapter in our quest to understand the ancient world.